Nestled between Liverpool and Manchester, the Makerfield constituency is a patchwork of small towns and villages that were once the heartlands of Wigan's mining industry and the Labour Party. For more than a century, this part of Lancashire has sent Labour MPs to Westminster. Now it could determine the party's and the country's future. Voters in this seat have been asked to elect a Labour MP to get rid of a Labour PM. Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham was MP for neighbouring Lee. Now, after persuading Makerfield's sitting Labour MP Josh Simons to step aside, Burnham's opening the door to a return to Westminster in a bid to enter number 10. What are you offering the people of Makerfield?
An end to 40 years of neoliberalism, is the way I've put it. In other words, a country, services that work for you, not for the private vested interest.
Why is this by-election so consequential? What are the consequences of it?
It's a chance to create a circuit breaker, to say, no, we need something completely different to what we've had. And I've created
the circuit
something.
breaker.
Well, I've created something different in Greater Manchester. I left Westminster 10 years ago to build a new politics, and that's what we've done.
Okay.
I've taken a place-first approach, not a party-first approach, focused on problem-solving, not point-scoring.
Andy, I'm just going to say then the silent bit out loud, because this isn't just a by-election, is it? This is the start of a leadership campaign, isn't it? Let's just cut to the chase here.
I have been true all the way through my political career, fighting for people here in this part of the Northwest who have had a raw deal off the powers that be in Westminster.
But Labour's facing fierce challenge from Reform UK. In May's local elections, Reform swept the board here, winning all 8 council wards up for grabs in Makerfield. This once safe Labour seat is now one of its most vulnerable in the Northwest.
The proper local, plucky plumber, who's taking on the so-called King of the North.
But Reform's candidate here, Robert Kenyon, has faced scrutiny over a series of past social media posts, including one in which he wrote, "I'm sexist, sorry, but I am. Women can't ref, drive or give directions." Why should women in Makerfield vote for you, Rob?
If you speak to the press office.
Why should women in Makerfield vote for you, Rob, when you said you're a sexist?
Can you not?
No, but why should women vote for you?
Oh, sorry, thank you.
When you said that you were a sexist and that they can't drive? As you can see there, Reform's candidate doesn't want to talk to us. We have asked the party for an interview and they didn't want to do one, but they have given us this statement. It reads, "This is a 2-horse race between Reform and Labour. Makerfield does not need yet another Labour politician in Parliament who simply wants to use local people as a stepping stone. Reform says that this is a constituency that deserves a strong local working class voice. They say that's exactly why Rob will make an excellent MP for Makerfield."
People say that we're racist or whatever,
But Reform UK isn't the only insurgent party on the right who could decide Labour's fate in this by-election. Restore Britain, the party founded by former Reform MP Rupert Lowe and backed by the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, is threatening to eat into Reform's share of the vote. And it could hand this seat to Andy Burnham. Their candidate, local businesswoman Rebecca Shepherd, is campaigning to tackle what Restore call gangs of foreign men who harass and intimidate local women and girls in Ashton and across the Wigan borough. Restore Britain did not respond to our interview request. Vote splitting is not just a concern on the right, as progressive parties too jostle for votes in Makerfield. But Lib Dem candidate Jake Austin argues voters deserve an alternative to Labour and Reform.
To me, that feels like the residents of Makerfield are being used as a pawn in the psychodrama of the Labour leadership election. And I think residents deserve a Liberal candidate who is going to focus on the things that matter to them. Things like fixing the NHS, cutting the cost of living, revitalising our high streets, the things that they actually care about when I talk to them on the doors.
If Reform were to win the seat here, Is there any concern from you that by standing here in a seat that the Lib Dems aren't realistically going to win, you actually end up splitting the centre-left vote and handing the seat to Reform?
I believe in a voting system that actually represents how people vote. I would like people to be able to vote for what they believe in rather than what they see as a necessary evil or the least worst out of two options.
Sarah Wakefield, a Manchester councillor running for the Green Party, says voters deserve a say on policy.
I mean, the Green Party are here to offer a message of hope, of unity, and the idea that things can be really different. Not only will I make sure that I'm a really listening MP, that I'm someone there on the ground finding out what the main problems for people are, but we are also advocating on a national level for things that will really make a difference to people's lives, to a wealth tax so that those that can most afford it will fund our public services, to regenerating our high streets and protecting our green belt.
Meanwhile, the Conservatives, now a sideshow here, aren't giving up.
My main points of the campaign are I want to regenerate the high street. We've got two main centres of population in terms of the high street. We've got Ashton where we are today, and we've also got Hindley as well. And I want us to really regenerate our high streets and make sure that we've got decent independent shops and bigger shops as well that can trade and thrive, and that people come back to those high streets and really sort of like make it a community again as well. So that's my number one sort of like campaign pledge. And we're also campaigning on antisocial behaviour and crime as well, because it is a concern for local people.
I guess the thing is, when you were not in government, in the past you were the main opposition and the opposition on the right. And now what you'll find in here is that there's two insurgent parties on the right, and you are not even the main opposition anymore. I mean, it must be tougher.
It's always been tough, because when I first stood in 1997, we were like nearly 20,000 behind as well. So it's always been tough being a Conservative in Makerfield. But that's what I like about it. I like a challenge, and I'm going for it. I've opposed the Labour Party all my adult political life, and I'm not going to give up now.
Makerfield is more than a by-election. It's a political watershed for Labour and the country. For Labour, it's a test of whether one of its most popular politicians can win back its working class communities and hold off Farage's turquoise wave. For the country, it could determine who will be our next Prime Minister. A moment of history about to be made in Makerfield that will have consequences not just for people here, but for all of us.